How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Fairs, Flags, and Gardens. I'm Leland.
I'm Lauren.
And we are here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg in Williamsburg, Virginia. We are here for the Pantheon Early Access, the member Early Access. The first day of member Early Access was yesterday, but it was open only to Platinum members. So this is the first day it's open to the unlimited memberships, which is what we have. Thus, here we are. Busch Gardens is doing the St. Patrick's Day celebration, but Pantheon Day is the only holiday I need. I entered the day with a coaster credit count that is quite modest by YouTube roller coaster enthusiast standards at a total of 47. My top 5 going into the day was as follows. Number 5, TMNT Shellraiser at Nickelodeon Universe at American Dream. Number 4, X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Number 3, Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. Number 2, Twisted Colossus at Magic Mountain. And Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion at number 1. Like many other fans, I had been following the news about Pantheon for some time, and I couldn't wait to see how this ride was going to disrupt those rankings.
Come on,
Pantheon.
Don't let me down.
Alright, we are approaching the queue line for Pantheon. We see the first train of the day running. Let's do this.
Members only.
So what is Pantheon? Pantheon is an Intamin LSM launch coaster, formerly called the Blitz coaster model, that opened in March of 2022. It has 3,328 feet, or 1,014.4 meters of track, a maximum height of 178 feet, or 54.3 meters, and a max speed of 73 miles per hour, or 117.5 kilometers per hour. The ride's most notable features include either 4 or 7 LSM launches, depending on whether you consider the multi-pass launch strip split up by the airtime hill to be 1 or 2 launches at each pass. 2 inversions in a 0G sidewinder and a 0G stall, a backwards vertical spike, an outward banked airtime hill, and a 95-degree drop following a top hat. All right, we just got our first dose of Pantheon. That was really good.
It was awesome.
It's running, I feel like, a little bit slower than in some of the videos I've seen, particularly in the 0G Sidewinder in the beginning of the ride. I wonder if they've slowed down that launch from testing, because in testing videos it looked like it was whipping really fast on the Sidewinder. When we rode it and in the other trains we've been watching all day, it looks like it's crawling through that Sidewinder, which in my opinion is actually a really good thing.
Really fun.
You get great hang time on that Sidewinder,
Yeah.
which I didn't really expect. The ejector hill in the middle of the launch is really good, particularly in the second and third launch. Because the first time you go up, you don't get much from that first hill.
Yeah.
And then crawling up the big top hat the first time is like, you don't get a lot out of it. But the launch going backwards is really great.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
The big vertical spike, where is it? There we go. That's really good. That gives great like weightlessness at the top. We also rode in the very back row, which I would recommend.
Yeah, that was really fun.
You go so high up on that vertical spike in the back row. That was really good. Oh, and then the final launch going forwards over that little ejector hill throws you out of your seat.
Yeah.
You get good ejector airtime on the second, well, I guess the third and fourth total launch in the ride. So the backwards launch and then the final forwards launch, you get great ejector on that last hill. The train has been absolutely crawling over the top hat every train we've seen, and it did that for hours. Yeah, great suspense as you're crawling over the top. The drop is great, 95 degrees, really throws you out of your seat.
My back like smacked the back of the seat, like.
Yeah, it really makes you like lean forward and then like smashes you back.
Yeah.
Probably the most intense ride in the park, I would say.
Yeah, and I don't hand these out lightly, but I would say that one was an S tier.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Probably not, but yeah. I'm also giving it an S. That was really great. The zero-G stall, great hang time on that as well. The transitions were whippy in a good way, not like painful, not like jerky, but like if you notice going in and out of the zero-G stall, you got like kind of thrown to the side.
Yeah.
And then there's that final like kind of sideways airtime hill going into the brakes, which was really good.
Yeah, it was fun.
It really pops.
It was great.
It's really good. I would say the first launch after the switch track was kind of eh. Everything after that really, really pops. And the zero-G Sidewinder before. But that's my number one in the park for sure. After that excellent back row ride, I reevaluated my rankings and I thought that a number 5 overall spot would be appropriate, slotting it right between Shellraiser and X2. But we'll see if that lasts till the end of the day. Then we decided to head next door to my previous favorite coaster in the park, Apollo's Chariot. Apollo's Chariot is a B&M hypercoaster that opened in... Well, maybe we'll save that for another video. We just got a back row ride on Apollo's Chariot. That was my 6th ride on Apollo's Chariot, going back to the beginning of last summer. That was the best ride on Apollo's Chariot I've gotten in this past 12 months. That was really good. Yeah, really strong floater airtime in the back row, like on every single hill. It was just popping. I was like coming up out of my seat on like all the drops, which like a lot of people complain like the airtime on Apollo's compared to like other B&M hypers like isn't as strong, but like it's running great right now.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That was really good. Still an A for me. Very solid.
Fast, smooth, solid Apollo's Chariot.
Love it. Next, we headed back to England for something to eat. All right, so we just went back to England to hit up Big Ben's Funnel Cakes and Squire's Grill.
Favorite is the funnel cake.
Yeah, look at that. Got chocolate on your shirt. These were both closed all of last year, so it's nice to see more of the restaurants opening up. Kind of shows Busch Gardens is healing a little bit.
Yeah.
So with Pantheon, they are only letting members ride once per day. So you have to go scan your membership at a kiosk and they give you a voucher and they take your voucher away when you go to ride the ride. So you can only ride it once. However, we did hear rumors that yesterday they opened it up to re-rides after 5 p.m. So we're going to wait it out and see if we can get on a few more times later in the day.
That's what we're hoping for.
Okay, we just called it a day. We are sitting in the parking lot here. So they did allow re-rides. So the rumor was true. And we got 2 more rides on Pantheon. We rode it in the very front row. And then we rode it again in row 5 in the middle. Oh my goodness. Maybe it was because the wheels had heated up later in the day, but it was running so much better.
The front was my favorite by far. Like, it far exceeded my expectations from when I had ridden in the back. It either way was a good ride, no matter where you rode on it. But the front, it was a front ride type of ride, like front seat type of ride.
Yeah, I did not expect that at all, but I think it's a front row ride. And in the middle, it was really great too. So I don't think there's a dead seat on the ride, but it was the best in the front row, and I did not expect that. The ejector airtime is crazy in the front, especially the speed hill going backwards. The backwards launch, when you're in the front row, the train just gets absolutely yanked from out from under you, and you go flying out of your seat, and it is so good. Then you get another huge pop of airtime at the top of the top hat. You like abruptly come to a stop. When you're in the front row, you get thrown out of your seat when you reach that top. Before you actually go down on the drop, just getting to the top of the top hat, you get thrown out of your seat, and then you're crawling over the top, and then you go down into the big drop.
Yeah.
I tell you what, on our second and third rides, so second ride was in the very front, third ride was in the middle. On both of those rides, I was graying out on the banked turn coming out of the big drop, going into the outward banked airtime hill. I was seeing stars, especially in our last ride. Maybe I'm just not drinking enough water, but in particular, in our last ride, I was like woozy by the time we got to the 0G stall.
A little bit more nauseous the third time around.
I was seeing stars going over that stall. That was crazy. This coaster definitely jumped up in my rankings with those last two rides. I don't know. I think I might like that more than my rides on Twisted Timbers and Twisted Colossus. I think that might be my new number 2, right behind I-305. That was really good.
Yeah.
That's a big win for this park.
Really, really fun. Might be the newest, like, big ride. I think everybody's favorite here in the next coming year.
Really solid.
Yeah.
Hey, big guy.